I didn't forget the recording, I promise. So we talked about this before. We touched on it. Just be careful about playing in the open while you're doing this, because like, unless you counted all 6 people like running in through here, chances are they left somebody behind, right? And this is a big danger. um, and then also, if you're standing too close to the edge, it's hard for you to actually get healing from here, because like the only one who can really do it is like Victor from like across the map, right? This is kind of a hard shot, right? Um, so if you're standing too close to the edge, you can get shot by a lot of things. So just be mindful about that and play like a little bit further away, right? Like a little bit further back maybe, where you can play this a lot safer, have cover, right? And you have the mini. If you hear someone on your left, you can Sonic this wall, or peek out, and then if you see him, you Sonic in his general area, right? And then you'll know where he is, and then you can make plays around that. And then you can very safely spam this, right? I can't believe you lived this, to be honest. They choke so hard. Nice shot. Oh my god, no nice shot. Remember, like, if like you run to someone and you have time, right? Try and stick a Sonic on the door, right? And that way you have walls on him during the fight itself, right? But obviously in this case you didn't really have time because you weren't looking for it initially. Alright, so instead of dropping here, right? Just do the same thing you did earlier, right? Just cross back over to here, right? Play the long angle, grab the mini if you take some damage, right? Or like hug the wall where maybe like Victor can heal you. Um, but you hit them. That's what matters. You hit the cool headshots. You're on the kill feed. But yeah, you can play over here, right? Just like cross as soon as you see that they're looking at you, just cross, right? Because this is risky. Because like if they drop down on you, you're actually just dead, right? In this case, they're actually just not really helping this Zarya for some reason. Oh my god, how did you dodge that pin? This was a 2.9k scrim. Yeah, so now you come up here, right? But this is like kind of late, right? Well, that's one way to not get frozen. So again, careful playing on the open, right? Try, like I know getting to this cover can be difficult because like I don't know they're shooting you, but either play in a spot where you can get more easily healed. Like in this case, you have a BAP, so you want to actually hug the wall. That makes it a little bit easier because you can aim a bit higher, right? Um, or right, just try and like leap across, grab the mini, Sonic this so you don't get pushed as you're crossing, right? And then if he pushes you, you fight him, right? While you're sitting on top of the mini. Crossing is fine as well. Yeah, if you're not sure, like Sonic it, and if you don't see anyone, don't even pay attention to it, right? Just like keep it on your periphery, right? And if you see red, then you look at it again, right? But it's not a concern if you already Sonic'd it, right? The Sonic's literally telling you there's no one there. Now you see them cross, right? So, we talked about taking angles, right? And we talked a lot about what to do if they go up here, right? Because a lot of teams try this, right? But what do you think you should do if they all come up this way? And you're sitting here. Yeah, so don't get stuck with your team, right? Yeah. Like the whole point of coming here is to get an off angle. This is just like the most straightforward one, right? So if they're pushing there, what are some potential off angles, right? Statue is a great one. We just cross over the statue, right? You can't really get rushed from here, right? And if Lucy starts pushing you, just keep climbing the statue until you're on the very top, right? There's a lot of stuff you can do like that, right? You play around the statue. You can play lower on statue. There's a mini in statue. That one's a little risky to get though. There's a mini in a hotel though. That's your kind of your fallback plan, right? You don't even have to be on high ground, right? You can actually play on point, right? Behind the hotel. Sorry, it took me a second to remember. You can play angles, right? You can come over here. Like just generally speaking, just play on this side of the map, and you're doing fine, right? Just don't get stuck with your team, right? That's the most important part. Because last time you didn't get stuck with your team, right? You made some mistakes, but you got 2 kills and immediately won the fight for your team, right? Yeah, like I mean, the thing to remember is that if you off angle, right, you'll build ult faster. That's one of the weird things about like off angling is like people get greedy, trying to get really aggressive, trying to build ult, and they fall back into their team, and they just like don't build any ult. You just shoot a shield the whole time, right? But if you play like these angles, like you actually build ult faster. because you just get more opportunities to shoot people, right? You can ask for Harmony and just push this Hanzo, and then you kill him, right? Then you have Dragon, you kill these guys, and then you're like, oh my god, I'm hard carrying, right? Yeah, so if you see that Hanzo, right, literally just like drop off, ask for Harmony, right, and just start pushing him, right? He has no help. But like, look, you want to build ult, but you're shooting a wall, right? You shot a shield in a wall, and you're like, oh, I gotta build ult, I gotta build ult, and now you're dead, right? And again, what are you shooting? You're shooting a bubble. Oh, you didn't die. Nice. All right, you're dead, right? And you just got your ult as you die, right? As opposed to playing somewhere where you can't be rushed, right? And you would potentially kill this guy, and you would have ult, right? Panic mode engaged, indeed. Wait, how did Gabe live? What the heck? Oh, never mind. Okay.
See through the dragon's eyes.
Objective lost. Stop the pain.
Yeah, it would have been a juicy ult. Alright, if you want to get out, right, just climb this wall, right? Hanzo's escape is not necessarily in his leap, it's in his vertical mobility, right? So that's what makes him so evasive, is that you can just like climb walls and get away from stuff, right? So if you're in trouble, right, just climb this wall, right? Or try and get around the corner to grab the mega, right? Then run outside, climb another wall, right? Now you have an angle, right? Hanzo, a lot of Hanzo is just abusing that over and over again, right? But trying to run away into your team, right? It's both like bad from a macro sense in terms of like your team's positioning, but it's also bad in that like you're actually just less likely to live, right? Than if you just like run over here, grab the mega, and just book it for the alleyway, right? And then you climb the wall. Like who can actually follow you through this, right? Like it's so difficult. First they have to cross in front of your team to get to you, right? And then they have to chase you with you potentially shooting back at them after grabbing health, right? And then once they get here, they still have to have the vertical mobility to chase you over the wall, right? And if they can do that, right, you can still climb this wall, right, and then jump over the wall with like your leap, right? You get up to this point, then you leap, and you can like slide over some of these walls, right? And then you're on this side, and it's like it's so hard for them to chase you. Yeah, but trying to run back into your team is just like, it just makes you actually even less likely to live. I don't think you can actually cross over this. I'd have to test this. Because I didn't really, like the wall ends here, but like depending on where you climb, like it's theoretically possible probably. And you can very easily like do fancy stuff in terms of like corners and sliding and staying on the roof for longer, right? Um, you know what? I'm gonna find out. I need to know.
Now entering King's Row.
Okay, hang on. Yeah, you can definitely go over, right?
Greetings.
Whee! Right. And then if you want to go back, let's see if we can go back actually. Probably not. This pipe's in the way. Maybe we climb the pipe itself? No. Ugh. Yeah, but either way, you can just like go back up these stairs, right? And if you're not sure he's there, you Sonic it, right? Now you know he's there, right? And then you can peek and take the angle again, right? Right. You can do a lot. You can just do a lot of stuff like this, right? And then if you end up here and you need a flank, right? Easy flank, right? There's just a lot of stuff like this on King's Row, which is like another reason why he's good on this map, right? So Hanzo just has a lot of like capability to just like abuse map geometry to be undiveable a lot of the time, right? So this is when people complain about Hanzo mobility. They're not really complaining about this, right? The leap. They're complaining about this, like, or they're complaining about his ability to like this, and then like leap, right? And to get to weird spots, right? And do weird things. Could you stand on that actually? Hang on. That looked like I could stand on it. Or it felt like it. I messed up. Oh, maybe? Oh, okay, it was this thing, right. That's a cool spot. Anyways, back to the VOD review. All right, where are you? Is this it? I think this is it.
Now entering King's Row.
I think I went too far forward. Definitely went too far forward. Oh, he's fine. He might be a little overtuned right now, though. I'm not really sure. How far back was this? Oh, this is where you died. Okay.
Start over at the beginning.
You know, you might be onto something with that, Ben. Right, so again, right, just mix up your angle. Like the first thing you do when you get here is to try and start taking map control. And like, it's not even good to necessarily do this to like come up here, right? But this is just my automatic reaction, right? So, like, I just the first thing I think of is high ground, right? Like, and an off angle, right? So like, I come to this point, and even though there's a guy right here already, and like this doesn't even lead anywhere, like my first instinct is like, huh, can I go this way, right? Or at least like come over here, start taking angle here, right? Just start like setting up, just start thinking about it, right? As soon as you get to the point where you can see the enemy team, like where should I be going? You got a Sonic on you, keep that in mind. Yeah, but you could very easily at some point just like if you were on this side of the map, right? You could very easily just walk out over here, and who's actually supposed to push you, right? This is why, like, again, like you want to think about this stuff, right? Don't get stuck here. If I cross here, right? You drop. You cross over here, right? You're already here, and you're applying pressure, and you're making them think twice about actually standing here, right? And on top of this, you're getting scouting, right? If this Ryan goes into tunnels, right? Or subway, whatever you want to call it, and then they back out, right? And your Ryan walks in and gets shattered. If you saw that Ryan go in there, you can tell your team that, right? But if you don't see that Ryan, they're like, I mean, I guess it's not really on you, but you could have prevented it, right? But either way, the earlier you get here, the better, right? So yeah, you probably cross over later, I imagine, right? But you want to do this as early as possible. Yeah. Like this whole time you've just been shooting shields. It just feels terrible, right? And now they're ulting while you're making the flank instead of you already being there and shooting them in the side, right? See how that works? You should dragon, just counter dragon, right? Presumably when they grab and dragon, they're going to be rushing, right? So just shoot a dragon across like this, and it'll probably do something. Yeah, that's good. Hey, Pineapple. You should be yelling Zarya's 1 right now. Alright, team pops off, pog. Climb the wall, yep. Yeah, so just remember, if Gabe's already doing that flank, right? That's not your business anymore. You should be like over here, right? Set up big crossfires. Woo! Alright, we're chilling. That was good, using your vertical mobility. The problem is like we really need like an Orisa here to hold space, right? And and then if like they try to wall you guys to like shoot your Orisa, then like your BAP jumps over the wall and throws him out, right? And while that's going on, you want to be like here, because like if you're six holding one spot, you kind of don't want to be in the same spot. So you know, as many angles as possible, right? So. Like, so if you look at this, how many angles does our team have, right? Anyone explain to me how Hanzo keeps an arrow charged while climbing a wall? With his feet. Anyways, yeah. We have like one angle here, and then Gabe flanking, right? And this is why the Gabe flanking is so strong, and why like a position like this would be so strong. Because if you like need to back up, either you hold here and you shoot them in the back, right? And they have to look at you instead of looking at this guy, right? Or you back up, right? And you're still shooting them in the back, and they have to look at you while they're shooting instead of this guy, right? Like, it's the power of holding angles, right? So whenever possible, you don't want to get stuck in the same angle as your team, especially in these kind of double shield situations when you know they're going to rush, right? Oh, popping off though. Ooh, popping off. Pew pew pew. Ooh, headshot.
Team up for special attack.
Yeah, so to be honest, as soon as this thing comes down and they show that they're not like rushing in on top of it, right? I want you to like just start aggressively pushing out, right? Swinging out and then getting an angle over here, right? As soon as you can, because this angle is really strong. Because like if you think about it, right? It's like window, right? If you put a window down, they LOS the window, right? But now they can't move, right? They can't go anywhere. And if you have an angle that can shoot them where they're hiding from the window, you just kill them, right? Because they literally can't get away from you. So as soon as this comes down and they show that they're not trying to rush, just start moving over, right? Yeah, so this is just really defensive, right? So like, if you just look at it, right? They're hiding here. They can't go anywhere, right? But you can't shoot them either, right? Yeah, and you also need to move forward more. Yeah, it's so nice. But you got to move forward more, right? So we talked about like when your front line's getting aggressive, right? Your back line also gets aggressive. It doesn't matter what the matchup is. If your front line's getting aggressive, your back line needs to get aggressive too, right? So in this case, like they pop window and they start moving forward. That should be you with there as well, right? Like and trying to get as wide as possible at the same time, right?
I always liked working with you.
Team kill.
See that which
I think this is where you decide to go left side. Yep.
Good.
Again, not too fond of this angle. Like I like the idea of flanking in general, but what's the problem with Hanzo doing this versus say like your McCree? Well, yeah, McCree is a stun, which makes him a shorter range hero, right? You have like your hero is like indefinitely range. You're more of a mid range hero though, because like your projectiles have become less efficient at longer ranges. But like, yeah, McCree has like pick off potential just by being hidden, right? But for your character, you want angles, right? And another big problem with this spot is it's closed. So it's very hard for you to use your vertical mobility to do anything, right? Whereas this spot, for example, right? If you want to get aggressive, you just drop, right? And you push, and then if they turn around and start looking at you, you just like come over here, climb another wall, and you're totally fine, right? So you generally speaking, Hanzo wants to play this side of the map because it's easier to abuse verticality than this side of the map, right? See how that works? Plus, the angles of this are just generally longer, right? You see more, right? Which is why this is like a nice middle ground until you know what they're going to do, right? And then you transition, right? So if you see that they're coming main, right? And you want to be on the right side, you just climb this wall, right? Hop over like we talked about, right? And then like, boom, you're in position to take this, right? So easy, right? And if they decide to go high ground, right? Then you just like walk out here and climb up behind them, right? And now you can just start shooting them in the back as they try to make plays, right? But yeah, it's just this side is just less efficient for Hanzo in general. Yeah, I mean the dragon attempt is nice, but it's a lot easier if like you just know where they're going, and then you see them trying to come this way with Sonic or something, right? You don't see them here, so you Sonic here, and then as you see them, you just drop in dragon and you just get like a 2K or force the lamp, right? It's very hard to dragon when they go the same way as you. Like I'll tell you, I understand like you want like to get the flanking dragon or not, but it's like like this part of the map, this like really choky area of the map, it's just like it's hard almost to get a bad dragon, right? Like if they come main and they go under, right, and you're here, you just drop down over here and you get a great dragon, right? Um, if they come like if they try to go through like up the stairs or something, right? You just back up half a step, like land here, throw a dragon this way. It's a great dragon, right? Like it's almost hard to get a bad dragon in King's Row second. They don't see you. Okay, remember to count. That was 5 people. Make sure you actually at least look to make sure there isn't a 6th guy coming out behind you. Hey, big dragon. Oh, this is risky. Yeah. Again, like, see how little options you have when you're stuck on the left side of the map? You can't really do much in terms of like verticality. There's not a lot of places to go. So in the end, you just end up getting stuck in a fight here, right? If you're not sure what to do, He slept you like at the very end from behind. The Ana was behind you shooting you too. She was trying to kill you from behind, rather. Ana, here's your jump, right? You see how like active this guy is with hearing, right? Like earlier this guy jumped at you and you're like, huh, where is he? But this guy like hears a jump and immediately like starts looking around her, right? She was an 8! But she killed you with the sleep, right? But yeah, like if you need to use verticality, right? You can remember that you can still use these walls, right? You can still climb these walls, do something fancy, right? Like climb these walls, and then maybe he like pushes into this hallway thinking like you're running away, and you just get the jump on him, right? There's a lot of stuff you can do, or you can just like play like a rat and run into a spawn, right? Nobody ever expects that one. But yeah, just really try to explore your options on Hanzo because he actually has a lot more than you think usually.
Start over at the beginning.
All right, let's talk very briefly on your aim. Uh, this is a very common habit for Hanzo to have, where they flick every shot, right? But just like watch your aim here for a second. You had your crosshair on him, and then you moved your crosshair off him to let go, and then you moved it back onto him. Let's watch that again. Another shot. Same thing. Right? So 2 shots in a row. You had your crosshair on him, and you moved it off for the flick. See that? You have your crosshair on him. He's not moving, and you move your crosshair off for all 3 shots. This is a very common bad habit of Hanzo, so don't worry about it. But like, yeah, something to remember. Keep in mind. Again, don't get stuck main, right? As soon as you can, either walk out over here and take high ground and take an angle over here, right? And thread put real thread on this Mei, right? Or come out this way and get another real angle, right? This way's more likely to get bullied by the Zarya, right? This side's more likely to get bullied by the Mei. Pick one, right? Whichever one, like especially if you take this fast enough, the Zarya might not expect it, and then if you get a free hedge on her, suddenly you're favored in the fight, right? So like again, just don't get stuck main. Main sucks. Yeah, so this is a byproduct of being main, right? You wouldn't be getting frozen if you're over here, or if you're up here, right? This is purely a byproduct of being main, right? So now you're like kind of zoned out of the fight more or less. Oh, this is perfect. He gave you high ground, right? So just like get on top now, right? Nice. Unfortunate.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
See through the dragon's eyes.
Ah, unlucky. We're doing the Hanzo thing again. Alright, again, don't get stuck here. Get up here as soon as you can, right? So, like, as soon as you come out the door, really, you fire a shot at the guy up there, and then cross, get over here, where it's safe to climb up, right? And then you just climb up, right? Now you have a great angle, right?
See through the dragon's eyes.
Right, you make all the right moves eventually. It just takes you longer than I'd like, right? Unfortunate. Sometimes the Hanzo just hits his shots. You know, sometimes the Hanzo just hits his shots and kills everyone. You should go Tracer here probably. I don't think it makes a difference, but yeah. Alright, that was 25 minutes of defense alone.
Score 0-3. Switching sides.
With every death comes honor. With honor, redemption.
Ah, shoot. I forgot to log my time. Hang on. This is important. Okay.
See through the dragon's eyes.
Ready.
Okay. So this is good spam that you're getting, right? From here. But just remember that as soon as your fly's back up, you want to be coming back up here, right? To get your angle again. Because like this Ryan kind of just holds shields and gives it to you, right? And you've been sitting here with fly off cooldown for a couple seconds now. So just like try to put your fly in cooldown faster. Ooh, big stickies.
Changing position.
Yeah, and then as soon as you can, right? As soon as your team starts getting the map, you want to convert. So this is your initial poke angle, right? To make them back off this choke, right? Really. But as soon as like they really back off the choke and your team's into the map, you want to convert from this spot, right, to like someone over here. If you want to play a long angle, or just like try and get on top of here, and play this conservatively. You just kind of crouch here, try not to get shot by the Mei, right? And try to get, and then you fly up to get aggressive, right? So either pick a spot over here, right, or like the long angle over here, right? But you gotta pick one, right? Don't get stuck main, right?
Damage increase.
So see that guy, right? Just literally just like burst, like fly up, right? Fly up over here, right? Try not to get shot by the Mei, right? And then take an angle, right? Boom. Shots all the way, right? Just throw your stickies, you probably kill somebody. Right, that's good, right? Again, you do all the right things eventually. And also don't get stuck here, right? Like just play the far back side of it, right? Where you're less likely to get shot. Yeah. No, don't run! Don't go all the way away. You work so hard to get here. Alright, so your team takes this angle, right? So now an angle on this side of the map is like doubly valuable because your whole team's on the right side already, right?
Flight routine activated. Quite the move. Executing flight maneuver.
Nice.
Targets down.
Ah!
Them down.
I'm not sure if you knew his HP. I had the health bars on for some reason. Actually, would have been a kill. That's unfortunate. Ah, you see his health. You should. I know you want to use your buttons, but like you see his health. You know they get their beam doesn't do anything.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Reinhardt.
That's an ambitious pin. That was all skill, not luck at all.
Systems on fire. Captured. Escort located. I like this.
Yeah, dude. Oh, he actually tried to throw a fire strike at you. Oh my god, he's so brave. He tried to throw a fire strike at you. Wow. He tried to throw a fire strike. Look at him. Oh wait, shoot. I went too far back. Oh well. We're gonna watch their run for a second.
Swift.
Maybe not actually. It looked like he was starting a fire strike animation from your screen, but it didn't look like it was from his screen. That's weird. Yeah, that's a fire strike, right? That was him starting a fire strike animation. Yeah. Got him. So again, like, this is fine, right? I just think that you should end your fly here, right? And then from here, you can just, like, either flank, right? And then go over the roof and, like, doubly flank. Or, like, just, like, chill here and then, like, throw some stickies and then just hold this position down, essentially. And then later on, you can decide whether or not you want to go over the roof or not, right? Going over this roof, by the way, is very powerful. This is the only reason why Pharah is good on second point. Pharah is, like, one of the best second heroes on the second point, actually. And just no one ever plays her because she's so bad on third. And she's kind of bad on first. And also she's Pharah, so, you know. But one of the reasons why Pharah is so good on second is because she can just literally just go over these roofs and just, like, shoot you for free and then go back. It's so strong, right? This is good for Genji, this is good for Echo, it's good for Pharah, it's good for Doom, even, in certain cases. But if you can abuse these roofs, you're a good hero on second. I think I'm running. Oh, I'm way over time. So I'll end this here. In summary, though, for your Hanzo in particular, just remember to take off angles. Don't get stuck main. Just remember to do it as soon as you can. As soon as you, like, even get, like, are with your tanks or even a second, just start thinking about, like, where should I be instead, right? Um, as soon as you have time to get on the map, as soon as you see the enemy team, like, how should I angle relative to my team, relative to the enemy team, right? Just constantly be thinking about angles. Again, on King's Row second, it's, like, impossible to mess up a dragon. So if you see them anywhere, just throw a dragon at them, and it's probably pretty decent. And then again, use Sonic to, like, win duels, or to, like, confirm, like, secure your flanks. And then what else? Oh yeah, abuse your vertical mobility as much as you can because it's part of what makes the Hanzo, like, good in the first place, right? Is his ability to go up and down with no cooldown at all, right? Um, and then for your Echo, I didn't see a whole lot, but, like, your Echo is, like, actually looks a lot better overall. Just remember to, uh like stick to your angles, like again, commit to angles, right? Either commit to this spot, right? If your team comes up here, then, like, commit to over here, or, like, go deeper, right? Start playing this vertical cover to get your angle, right? And then use the, like, fact that you can get easily double pocket from here to, like, really support you as you, like, play this angle, right? And then drop, and then try it again, right? And remember to base your flies mostly from high ground, right? Whenever you can. But, like try to avoid situations where you're right here, and then you, like, back up, and you go all the way back around, right? And then you come right back to the same angle, right? Like, those are situations where it's a lot of time wasted, a lot of potential damage you could have been doing in that time, right? To find an angle, just, like, try and play it as best ability. If it turns out it's a bad angle and you die for it, that's fine. You learn, right? But if you play too cautious and you take yourself out of the fight for a long time, like, you might not feel so bad about it, because you didn't die, but you missed on so much damage that you sort of half killed yourself for, like, 5-10 seconds, right? And that time really matters during fights, right? So. Really think about angles. Really try to push angles and hold angles as long as you can. Within reason, obviously. If they're rushing you, just give it up, right? But yeah, you get the idea. Yeah, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Or just, type in the chat right now. And I'll stop recording here.